Alright, we're going to do another one of our weekly reviews on our trading approach. This is for January 17th through the 21st. It was a light week for us. Number one, the week started out with the stock market holiday, so no trades that day, and that left our Monday without anything. Second day, we had Tuesday, a couple trades, but we had to be real patient. The first one that took off here was a very small one. The signal was good, but it really ran into some rough resistance, turned around, and ran pretty hard for us. It broke this support level here and continued to run, but didn't give us a real good setup. So even though we had a real nice trend running, we really couldn't enter anywhere within this trend. So that was a little frustrating because of the time we had to spend waiting for our setup. But if we waited patiently, we really had a great setup there. It was actually right towards the end of our first hour in the market, I think slightly after. I waited a little bit patiently just to make sure I could get in on this, and I took a conservative 5 ticks off of that. I should have been able to do more than that, but based off of what had happened up here, I was concerned. As you can see, I actually took a small loss on that one, 2 ticks of a loss, and I was able to offset that down here. The one thing to remember though, a lot of times when you take a very conservative profit and the trade runs several points your way, it's very easy to be frustrated that you didn't stay in longer, or that you didn't take more. Don't let yourself fall into that trap. That's only going to cause emotional stress to come in and creep in into your objective focus in trading here. Just be happy with what you get. You do the best you can with the information you're given. I chose to take a very conservative profit. I made back my loss and still came out a little positive at the end of that day. So that wasn't bad. We're looking at Wednesday here. Wednesday was a much better day. The trend was pushing good for us. We had a nice setup here. I took 10 ticks off of that, and actually was being conservative with this because of slight conflicting signal we had in our tricks here. So instead of letting it run to my 15 or run 15 ticks like my normal profit target would allow, I actually got out early on the second half of my position and took 5 ticks on both halves. But many of our members made a good profit off of that, so that was a great trade. We had one more towards the end here. I did hit my 15 ticks on that, so as you can see, a pretty good day, 25 ticks up. And Thursday came by, had 2 setups here on Thursday, and this was really good trade. We had a high, lower high. The setup was perfect. Entry, boom. A lot of our members got in on this and did really well. I personally placed my order and actually it got skipped. It moved just too fast for me. So I got my order skipped, but it was a fabulous trade. Again, one of those times it's going to happen to you. Sometimes you're not going to get in these because I'm using what we would need to use when doing this strategy is a stop limit order, and that means at times it's not going to fill. Don't let yourself get frustrated with that or fall into the trap of trying to make it back. It just happens. You have to accept that risk. But so I missed this trade, and I was talking and demonstrating some illustrations about that particular trade, and a second trade set up very quickly. So we were in the middle of our live trading room demonstrating some of this, and all of a sudden we had this next setup happen. It happened too quickly because my dome was already minimized at this point, and I couldn't take the second trade. So Thursday was not my day. I just wasn't able to play it, but came out on Friday. So we were waiting quite a while for this trade to develop, and we were in some interesting moves, some big pushes, but not having the right setup, and all of a sudden we had a good setup for us here. This was one of those trades that you should have really won on, but the way it took a while for it to move and kept coming back against me. with each time I enter, I took my first entry on this, and as you can see right in here, these orders are pretty small. But I took my first entry on this, and it went my way about 4 ticks, didn't hit my 5-tick profit, and then it came against me, and I thought, oh, I need to get out because of the fluctuation. Maybe I didn't get in at the right time. I just didn't know, so I wanted to cut my loss short, and I cut it short. I lost 8 ticks on that. Re-entered as it started going back my way. Again, it ran 4 ticks my way, then started turning around again. What it happened to do, I got out early, cut my risk, cut my loss short on that again. I was worried that it was going to hit my 5-tick stop, and called it a day for 10 ticks. Right after I exited that second entry, then it finally ran for me. So I was looking at the right thing. It was the right move, but the market just really wasn't doing what I'm used to seeing it do. So I minimized that, cut that out, and ended up with a 10-tick loss. That really reduced my weekly profit here, but that's still okay because the consistency we were looking for, we still have a good bit of consistency to go by. This is the thing here, when we're dealing with this type of trading, our goal is to measure our success based off of a large sample size of trades. A small week like this, even starting out with a holiday, it's just not enough to really give you a good sense of your consistency with trading. This actually happened to be my first losing day in 26 straight trading days. The first losing day this month. Most of the time when I take a loss, you can see I offset it, so I'm still coming out positive at the end of the day. But this is really why I'm so focused on consistency. It did drop my my monthly winning average from 86 to like 75%, but that's still a really good range for me, and I'm happy when I'm above 70%. So what you can see as far as what this means money wise, one contract 18 ticks is $180. What the goal is to get consistent trading very low margin. First, build your consistency on a simulator. Then when you're comfortable going live, you can start trading one contract and gradually start building up to multiple contracts. 2 contracts, 360. 3 contracts, 540. 4 contracts, 720. See, so it's not that bad. Even 18 ticks for at the end of the week is not a bad profit as long as you're consistently doing this, and then you can trade multiple contracts to make that profit grow for you. See, what we do here at Learn to Win Trading is teach you the 3 legs of trading: strategy, psychology, and money management, and then give you the tools and support that you need to build your skill as a trader. That's really the ultimate key there. It takes a while. It can take a while to learn how to do this, but you have to have the right things in place to be able to do it successfully. The best things that you can do is get involved with a group of people who are using the strategy that you're using, because you can learn from each other, help support each other, and it's best if you have someone who can do it to help walk you through some of the hurdles that you might face in doing this. Really, trading well has more to do with how you perceive the market than what you know about the market. So we can teach you the simple stuff. That's the science. That's the strategy. That's the psychology and the money management. The art comes from experience, and the experience you can gain with trading with us, with live instructors in our trading room. That's what we're here to do. So feel free to visit our website. Give us a call if you have questions. We're always happy to help, and we'll see you there.